And introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 74.9 kilograms and trains under Eugene Behrman out of City Kickboxing. Fighting out of Auckland, New Zealand, with a professional record of 7 wins for just 3 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the cage, John Brewin! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 74.8 kilograms and trains under Ben Vickers out of Scrappy MMA, fighting out of Perth, Western Australia, with a professional record of 2 wins for just 2 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Wes Capper!
They're going to touch gloves.
I'm very interested to see how both fighters come up. They're obviously showing respect and touching gloves, but we know Wes has got a lot of power in these hands. Is he going to throw, and what's John going to do to engage the grappling? Well, we know he's got very
Good
high level of kickboxing too.
Yeah, but again, I've always been impressed with the cardio and the footwork of Wes Capper and the speed of the jab. Let's see if he brings it into the cage tonight. And a fight that he wanted. He wanted to come back to Eternal MMA. Welcome back, Wes Capper, as he takes on John Brewin from New Zealand.
And we know Bruin's got a long list of very well-regarded teammates. He's experienced a lot of this punching power before. So it's going to be interesting to see how they feel out this process. You can see Wes stalking him now. And is this the best position for John to be? But there we go. There's the shot from distance. And again, this is going to be a big thing for confidence for both fighters. We can see Wes really is trying to keep hold of it, and he's posting up on his arm. But he's going to control that hand, the inside. But this is going to allow Brewin to try square up and then pass those legs.
No doubt he would have been working about this in camp, knowing that
we knew this
would have known
happen,
what Capper will bring to the table.
And this is where we really need to see Wes engage those butterfly hooks now and use that cage to his advantage, get onto a side and try and start building up. And John Brewin here is doing really well to keep him back off the cage and not allow him to get back on his butt and start building up.
What's weird for me is I've never seen Wes Capper in this position before, obviously.
Yeah, and it was a great shot at range from Brewin, and now he can sit here in half guard and control this position. Wes really needs to try and get more onto his side, use that underhook and build it up. And there you can see he's built off the cage because this is where he wants to be. And now you can see John transitioning to the back. And Wes, again, he can shake him off with one hook, whereas Brewin is really going to try and fight to get that right hook in. And what Wes needs to be really careful of is that kill arm and that choke, because if that choke gets sunk in from this position, Brewin can finish.
I think the key here for Capper is to stay calm.
Yeah, correct. And control, you can see he's controlling Brewin's right arm, but that left arm can come through as the kill arm.
Oh, he's almost shaking him off there, so good work by Capper.
Very composed from both fighters, no rushing. And Wes obviously wants to keep his base and stay standing, but he's really doing well to fight that hand, as you can see, controlling that hand with both arms. But what Brewin has done is reached around and he's controlling that little baby hook there.
Said Wes Capper's going to want to explode and get out of this position and get it back where he wanted, which is obviously on the feet, but so far playing into part of Brewin's game plan, because again, he's a good striker himself, but he knows that the striking capabilities of Wes Capper.
Correct, and they've both done, I mean, John does really well here. So what John needs to be careful of is not let Wes's hips stay higher than his, and you can see there we go, he's kicked his legs out to change it, but that's really well done by both. And John's managed, if he locks this body lock up here, this can be a very dangerous position for Wesley.
Good effort for Capper, but looks like he's trying to get the underhooks now.
Yeah, and watch Wes.
Well,
what Wes is really going to do is frame off and throw a short shot. But Brewin's done really well to transition that head. And you can hear the corner of Capper calling for his weight, because this is exactly where he really needs to fight to his side now and use an underhook, whereas John can really try and stay on top and use his weight to keep his back flat. Because with that back flat on the mat, it's very disadvantageous for Capper, whereas Brewin can really control this position and aim to keep Wesley flat, and post up and rain down some damage.
You can see how experienced Capper is. I'm not talking about cage experience, I'm talking about fight experience, because he's still pretty calm in there based on the situation where he doesn't want to be in.
Yes, that is true, but what I'd also say to that is Wes needs to just start working to his base and to the side, because Wes is great at standing up if he can build up. And I'd really like Wes to try and keep turning into him here. But John's doing a really great job. And this is where Wes is great at building up. But he just really needs a great transition from Brewin.
I see Brewin is desperate to keep Wes Capper in the same position.
Yeah, and it's a very smart plan by Brewin. That was an amazing transition from the front headlock position straight to those legs. But Wes has done really well. The further he bases his legs out and incorporates that split.
Here we go.
This is where Wes... Now it's going to be interesting to see how both of the fighters react fatigue-wise from that grab. And that's a very exhausting process for both guys.
Where Wes Capper is trying to use the jab, follow up with the right punch.
And you can see Wes going high, low, high.
He's trying to get him down to the mat again, so this is opportunity for Wes Capper now. He's weathered the early parts of the storm in round 1. Oh, look at that. He certainly might have hurt him there.
Big shots from both. And this is where we really need to see the straight, short, sharp straights from Wes.
Oh, look at that. Good hands by Capper.
But great head movement by Brewin.
Really look at that. He's down again.
And I think that's more slips.
Yeah,
Brewin's doing really well to keep his head moving and keeping off centre. But I'd really like to see Wes let go of that right hand down the pipe.
Be careful about throwing that. That's a closing stages of round 1, though.
That's a great entry there from John. And if he can finish this, see, that's a big confidence boost to Capper there.
Wow. What an end to round 1. A very intriguing round. And look, here's an opportunity now because the severely hindered fighters, we enter round 2.
But I think what Brewin's done really well is to start throwing those lower leg kicks and trying to slow Capper down, because Capper's going to do a lot of damage with those hands. He's really throwing a lot of nice feints and leading in.
This matchup presented by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey.
And this is where you can see Brewin's got the body lock in there, and Wes really needs... I mean, Brewin has got a Von Flue choke finish on his record, so he could lead into that position there. But Wes really needs to work to get flat off his back.
He worked hard in the first round. Let's see if he can do it again.
Because you can see John, this is where he really controlled the first round. And outside of that last minute, John was doing amazingly.
He was. But I think Wes, he's pretty frustrated that he's in this position after the way into round 1.
So Wes has really engaged that butterfly hook well to try and create space. But he really needs to, as he engages that butterfly, not stay flat on his back. And this is exactly where Brewin wants to be. He's very happy to here regain his senses from that first round and just control and ride this round out and then slowly start instilling some damage. And you can see Wes has got his left underhook in there, which he's really trying to do. And as you can see, the corner of Marco Ponosh and Ben Vickers, and there's setting up a dance. So Wes really needs to clear that his left arm, because that is what's going to choke, and that's what's going to cut off the blood flow.
Well, he's worked well there, Capper.
Very well. And this is where he wants to stand up. Very well done.
A bit more time to work than he did in the first round. Jab.
That was a great position from Brewin there to look to create that. It's almost like he went from a dance to a...
Oh, is that a low blow? Yeah. Nathan Pintabonner has called time and has called a low blow on Wes Capper.
And I think this is going to be a time for both fighters to gather their breath back. And
probably more so for Brewin, because he's the one that looked tired. But again, his game plan, you can know what it is right now. He's just going to try and get it to the mat.
Yeah, and it's a relentless, it's a very tiring plan from Brewin's team. But so far, I think he is, when he gets those positions, he's very much controlling. And that was a tight choke, but Wes did really well to base out there. And once he can get to turtle and build up from there.
And we look at the low blow on the Gypsy Club replay, and right on the spot. So, and Wes Capper knew it straight away as well. So, look, the moment for Wes Capper now is that he's got more time to work than he did in round 1. He got it with about a minute left in the fight. He's got 3 minutes to work here, where he's got to avoid the takedown.
And what we saw at the end of that first round, which was the most positive output from Wes, is when he pushed forward and put Brewin on the back, get back against the cage, he landed some damaging shots.
Yeah, and I believe that Wes knows he can do it again, but he's got to just stay away from the takedown.
But Brewin's pace is relentless so far. So if he can keep this for 3 rounds, it's going to make for a very exciting fight, which we're already enjoying so far.
Here we go. Action back underway in round 2.
And I'd really love Wes to throw that straight right down the pipe and see if he can inflict some more damage.
Nice kick there by Brewin.
It's very interesting to see Brewin not throwing more leg kicks and really keeping slowing Wes's movement down.
It is surprising because
that's the
Brewin
problem.
wouldn't be expecting a takedown attempt from
When he's throwing the shots from that distance, whereas when he set them up, he was getting leg entries and really executing them well.
There we go. Now he's telegraphed that.
This is going to be a big confidence boost for Capper here. And this is where Brewin, especially if he's tiring and on the back foot, it's a tough one. Wes really needs to come forward, but you can see Brewin is very keen to engage.
Better get up, and he does.
And this is where, in those shots, you don't want to rush, because that's where those short, sharp shots can land a damaging effect in those exchanges.
Crowd appreciating the little strut from Capper.
But both look to be more composed now.
I think Brewin's recovered well after what we saw at the end of round 1.
Correct, and I think if you look at control time, he is leading this round, whereas Wes really needs to push this last 2 minutes to cement this round in his corner. Because Wes is starting to stalk him down and come forward, which is not a good look for the judges for Brewin.
The only thing that Capper obviously needs to work on is input, so he's looking for his openings.
But I really do like that lead high kick from Brewin. As Wes goes down to the body, Brewin is flicking that out there nicely.
I always said the longer the fight goes on, the better for Capper.
Correct, and especially with these shots coming in now, they're going to get slower and slower as Wes adds up more damage.
A body shot might have hurt Bruins again.
Because he needs to get off the cage. He really cannot.
Another body shot. I think Capper's going to look to go to the body and then and also look for the jab.
And he's been setting up that body all fight. Really.
See, that was he's hurt. Capper, opportunity for Capper.
Let him stand.
Get him to stand up. That'd be the smart thing to do. You've got to get him to stand up and stop giving him time to recover. I don't know what Capper's doing here.
I mean, I think both fighters are heat in the moment, but Brewin almost seems to be hurt his ankle or foot. I
think it happened at the end of the first round.
Yeah, they're close to throwing in the towel, it looks like.
But yeah, this is Capper's opportunity. He's still got 36 seconds left in the second round.
See, Brewin
he's down. No, he's gone for a takedown, but again, Capper can see them coming a mile away, and again, he should just let him stand up.
Correct, let him stand. But I think there is an injury here.
Yeah, I think so.
And you can hear the corner calling for it. They can hear that there is damage, and they're telling him Wes to come forward.
And this is a good look for Capper, not for Brewin.
Correct, especially that round is a clear Capper round now for the way this is finished.
Body language.
I think there is a front leg lead injury for Brewin. So if Capper could utilise that.
Hey, look at that at the end of the second round.
Well, I've watched the Brewin corner very closely here because Brewin is getting up very slowly, and I think there is
look at that. Look, it's the same body language at the end of the first round.
And I think they're going to look very closely, and it will be his team's decision because if he can't stay upright, there is a problem.
The beautiful crystal.
And I don't
know
where that shot came from, because we saw it in the first round, which ended the first round very much in Wes's. They're going to stop it. They're going to stop it.
They're stopping it. Wow, that's a TKO victory for Wes Capper. Can you believe it? I thought they might have tried to say, go out for the third round and take it to the ground, but no, it obviously damages too much. So we'll find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round number 2, our blue corner decided to call a stop to this fight, declaring your winner via corner stoppage, Wes Capper!